Hi everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Happy Friday! It's here, we're finally here, it's finally happening. Welcome to my very long awaited, much anticipated craft room tour. Hey, hi, hello. If you're new here, I'm sure some of you are because these kinds of videos tend to get way more viewership than other videos. Hi, my name is Misty. I am TheJollyFatElf. I've been around the YouTubes now for over 10 years. I just completed my 10th holiday card series. I am a card maker mostly, but I also dabble in, like watercoloring, and I love to color. I also do planning, bujo stuff, all of the above. And this has been my little corner on the internet now for over a decade, which is kind of whoa. So in today's video is going to be part 1 of 2. I'm going to walk you through, I thought it'd be kind of fun to see where we started and how we ended up here. And this is like the final iteration. Only 1 or 2 things will probably change, if at all. And then in the next video, part 2, it'll be more in depth. So I'll open all the doors and I'll open all the drawers and share with you specific kind of storage things that I have going on. Before we do that though, if you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you missed it, on Wednesday I posted my Project Use Your Stuff for my Valentine card series that will start at some point next week. If you're unfamiliar, Project Use Your Stuff is a project that I started in 2024. Yeah, it's just a way to kind of shop your own stash, use your own stuff, kind of focus on what we have instead of buying. And I've selected very specific products that I want to use during this little card series. I don't know how many videos you'll get. It's a Valentine card series, but they're mostly going to be love focused, ones that you can use year round. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. A little self-promotion here. I have an Etsy shop, if you didn't know, I do. And I've recently created some fun book-themed and Valentine-themed t-shirts. I'm going to do t-shirts probably every other month. I did my last drop in November with some Christmas shirts, and this time I've got some Valentine specific shirts. I've got some book specific shirts. If you didn't know, I'm a voracious reader. I'm talking like 500, 600, 700 books a year. I love to read. It's one of my it's my main thing that I do, followed by crafting and makeup and all of the other do-ba-da-do, but I love to read. So that will be listed in the description box down below. Now, I don't do those in-house. Those are print on demand, so they will ship to you. They are Belling Canvas. Those are the t-shirts that I picked out. It's really soft, really comfortable t-shirt material. And yeah, and I tried to price them fairly. I don't want you guys to spend a bunch of money. And if you can't afford to buy, please don't. Just by liking the video, if you don't have YouTube Premium, watching the ads, all of that, and leaving a comment is just as important. So there's my little plug. Now let's get over here to the craft room tour. Okay, so a little background. All of this started from the love of purple. not the movie The Color of Purple or the Broadway play The Color of Purple. The literal love and just adoration that I have for the color purple. And when my husband and I got together, by the way, we just celebrated our 15th anniversary on New Year's Eve. He was all for me, or all for us having a purple and silver Christmas tree. I was like, I really want to do a purple and silver Christmas tree. And he's like, okay, fine. So we went looking and on the hunt for purple ornaments, and all I could really find were the little glass balls, because purple hadn't been popular at that point. It hadn't been a Pantone color yet, etc. So I was like, you know what? I want to do this. So 15 years ago, I got on YouTube, and of course YouTube then wasn't what it is now. And I found somebody making ornaments using sea beads, sequin pens, and sequins, and I thought that's what I want to do. And then we went looking for Christmas cards, and of course I couldn't find any purple Christmas cards that I liked, so I thought, okay, maybe I can do that. And I really got into it after watching a Martha Stewart Christmas special. Yes, we're aging myself. 2010. I watched her heat emboss a snowman on a card, and I looked at my husband and I said, I want to learn how to do that. And I was off to the races. So one thing to know about my husband and I, we are very different. I am someone who is messy, not like trashy and stuff like that, but mess, clutter. I function fairly well in that. He does not. He doesn't like clutter. He doesn't mind like decor and tchotchkes and stuff like that, but he loathes anything like out of place, etc. So we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment at the time, and I'd been crafting in one of those little rolly carts, and he just kept saying, when we finally get a house, we're going to look for one with a craft room for you. And I was like, okay, sure, fine, great, okay, whatever. So we eventually moved into this house. Now, this house was a foreclosure, unfortunately, but apparently the previous owners had done some damage. So the bank had come in and they basically went floor to ceiling. They textured over wallpaper, and they ripped out all the old carpet and put down like beige builder grade carpet. So every single room in this house was floor to ceiling beige. We literally just got rid of the last beige room, which was our primary bathroom a couple of years ago. Now our pantries and closets are still beige, but like the main rooms. So the other thing about this house was it's only a 3-bedroom, but we have 4 rooms. So in Texas, I don't know how prevalent this is in other states or whatever. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a lot of times you get houses that either have a formal living room and dining room together, or there's a formal dining room and study, or study and whatever. So this room actually started as a study with French doors, and the previous owners took the French doors out and then drywalled it and made it just into a room. It doesn't qualify as a bedroom though, because it doesn't have a closet. And that is why you're going to see that I have utilized almost every square inch of this craft room. And yeah. And so a huge thank you to you. If you've ever purchased from a D-Stash, especially when I quit Stampin' Up! The first time, I sold everything. That bought some of my cabinets, that paid for the floor. Like, anytime you've done a purchase from a D-Stash from me or purchase from my Etsy shop, etc., if that money hasn't gone to bills, it's gone back into the craft room. Now, there are a few things I need to replace. Both of my computer chairs need to be replaced. And then I have a brown Alex where I would much rather have a white Alex. But other than that, I've really utilized every inch of this space. It's not moving because some of the things have been literally bolted to the walls. And my desk weighs about 650 pounds. So this room is what it is. Like, there's not going to be anything else changing. So I don't know that you can expect another craft room tour ever again. But if I do any kind of major moving around things, maybe you will. So yeah, so this is not meant to be braggart, etc. Again, this has been 11 years. We've been here since 2011. So that's longer than 11 years, Misty. That's like 14 years. So 13 years. 13 years of buying. Of course, like many people back then, this started with IKEA. Was it, well, I can't remember what it was called. It started with an E. I keep wanting to say Equate, but that's not it. So it started kind of like most craft rooms were back then, all IKEA. Now it's still mostly IKEA, but I do have some other pieces. So yeah, so like I said, this is going to kind of be a walk down memory lane and then how it looks now. And then in the next video, which will probably go up Monday, will be a more in-depth drawers and doors. Now I'm sitting in my kind of makeup filming area. I already have a video of this kind of area on my Misty channel. I will try to remember to link that down below. If you didn't know, I had 4, I'm going back down to 3. So I have this channel, which will be card making, planning, bullet journaling, etc. I have a makeup channel where I play with makeup. And then I have an At Home with Misty channel, and that is where I share kind of like my health journey, like I'm on a mission to lose 100 pounds because I need neck surgery, blah, 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 blah. So I will have that tour hopefully listed down below. So yeah, that was a long intro and I apologize for that. I'm going to do a voiceover. I'm disabled, so I'm not someone who can stand up and do like an entire craft room tour while I'm standing and holding the phone and etc. You would get literal seasickness. So this will be mostly a voiceover, but I hope that you enjoy it. And yeah, so say hi in the comments if you're new. Let me know how you're doing for 2025 if you started off on the right foot. I went to the eye doctor yesterday. I'm going to get new glasses. We saw my niece, my nephew and my brother, gave him his presents. So it's been a good start to 2025 so far. And I'm so happy that I can finally share this with you. So that's enough jabber jabber. I'm going to walk you through the evolution of the JollyFatElf craft room. Editing Misty here. Before we get into this, I just wanted to send a heartfelt, just all of my love and just everything to those of you who may have been affected or know someone who's been affected by what happened in Las Vegas and New Orleans this week. Not the way that we wanted to kick off the new year, but I hope that you are healthy and safe, and just know that I am sending you all the love that I can. So let's get into this craft room tour because I've taken up enough of your time. And as I mentioned in the intro, this room was beige, 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 beige. And you can see here, you can see a little bit of the carpet, then you can see the wall. And here, this is kind of where we started. We had a bookcase that one of us had, my husband or I had. I had a table. Then we had this that we used as our pantry in our apartment. I had some pegboards with my ornaments hanging. And then, like I mentioned, I had these two sets. I had one big one and two small ones. And then I had the desks that attached on either side. So one side was going to be for my card making, and then this side was going to be for my ornaments. You can see that I have a little tree set up so I can take pictures. And it was just a very, very, very basic setup, but mostly what we could afford. Actually, I had one big one and one small one, and that's kind of how all of this started. But it wasn't anything really special because we just weren't there financially yet. And after a while, and once I got more into the card making, is when we kind of started making this room a bit more that. So here you can see on the left behind me are gutters. We initially put gutters on the wall so I could store my ribbon. I was with Stampin' Up! At the time. I had a ton of ribbon. Behind me, I had the curtains from IKEA with the hook so I could hang my stamp sets. I had the rod behind me that had all of the little buckets for my pins, etc. And then this was, you can see that dark purple behind me. That was the wrong color to choose. I ended up changing this completely. But you can see I was still making ornaments for a fairly long time. So this is what it looked like with that really, really, really dark color. And I finally had a desk to make my crafts on. And yeah, a little bit of a mess, but this was because I was transitioning or about to transition to the next iteration of the room. And here's a look again at that purple. It just sucked out all the light. So we went to this purple. Now I went ahead and had my husband rip up the carpet because it had a ton of glitter in it, and I wanted to paint the floors. Well, we did that, and this is what happened. If you're going to paint the concrete, make sure you seal the concrete. So we ended up moving to this tile. I think I got it for like 99 cents a square foot at Floor and Decor. And here you can kind of see the original setup with the new floor and the new paint. I had a desk to the right. That's where you see my chair. I had one bookcase against the wall. And to the left is where I had my kind of desk filming area set up. So the desk that you see in front of you is where I was crafting and filming. I had a set of the 2x6 cubes behind me turned on their side, and that's where I was storing all of my crafting supplies, etc. This space in front of the desk where you see the carpet, that's actually where I had all of the tripods. And it was very much a kind of work in progress, kind of move things around, see what things were going to work. I picked up there was this gray desk on IKEA that had 3 different middle, like you could make it so it was like super long. And that's what I initially had done. So a little bit later in that same year, I think this was 2020 actually, before the pandemic, I picked up 3 of the Leotorp bookcases from IKEA. It came as, you could get it as a set of 3 like this. It came with glass doors, etc. My husband put those together for me. And this is literally the only real storage solutions I had other than those other kind of expedite, that's what it was called, sections. And this is what it looked like once I got everything in it, and it has lights in it, which I absolutely love. Now, this right-hand side almost looks exactly the same. I did add a couple of things and take away a couple of other things, but that's kind of where those cabinets came from, and they are stuck. Those are bolted. So here's a look at things before my new desk came in. So I went ahead and picked up a new desk. I wanted a big, white, pretty desk. But again, picked that up like right at the start of COVID. So when you first came in my room, I had my so here's the crafting area. So I had 2 of those little cabinets from Wayfair. You can see here, I had the big tripod that went over the front of my desk. Those cups were how I was storing my Copics at the time. To the left was where I was doing, again, I had everything stored. That was my little filming area. And this is where I had my kind of a computer desk along with my silhouette portrait and my silhouette cameo. This may have been right around the time I stopped doing my sticker show. And this is where I was storing my printer. So this is what happened. And I was like, I've got to figure out something and get rid of that tripod situation because it was really becoming an issue. So here's me pulling everything out, and you can see at the back kind of how I had the storage going. And this is right after I think I left Stampin' Up! For good. And so it was just a way of, okay, Misty, what can we do to move things around? I'd already moved the art and everything else. My husband's like, what are we going to do? And I was like, I've got to figure out a way to change the way I film. So I decided to go ahead and pick up they're actually ceiling mount tripods, etc. And I was going to use this desk as my crafting desk. It had an Alex drawer on one side and then a leg on the other side and just a white tabletop, and decided to get rid of the need of the big tripod in the middle. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. And then here's a picture of me again, but you can kind of see what that setup was behind me. And I filmed like this a couple of times. So here is what it looked like before I got my big desk, and it is a big mamma jamma. You're going to see this kind of flower wall again, but I had to redo it for what we had. There was Roxy and her little, on her little ledge. We still have that ledge there, but I've changed out the desk for something different. And here I have moved my filming setup, and then I've added some of the things that were behind me to this set of Expedit. These may have been Calyx by this point, but you can see I have my planners and everything else, and that's how I had it set up. And here's what the desk was supposed to look like. Isn't this a really pretty gray? And this is what I got instead. This is not gray. That's not gray at all, but we'd already put it together. It was already in the room. So in 2023, I decided I no longer wanted those 2x6s. I wanted like cabinet storage. So I don't actually remember the name of these cabinets that I picked up, but if I can find them, I will link them down below. Now I just picked up some handles off of Amazon. All right, so this is current day. You can see here I've got the same flooring, we've got the same cabinets, and it's basically still the same layout. I just kind of upgraded the table over there in my filming corner. And then of course, now you get to see it with the big desk. So this is walking in from the hallway. I've put it in slow motion so I can talk you through it. So to the left, we have the cabinet, then we have the big desk with the big sign on top. And then this is what it looks like when the filming area is lit up in the back. And this is what it looks like just on that side with the desk. And this is what it looks like with just the overhead light and those 2 light sources on. There's not much light in here and I don't love it. Here is what it looks like from that filming corner looking towards the hallway where you come in. And it is, you can see I've utilized every square inch of space in this room as much as I could because there's just no other choice really. So here is a look at the desk. On the desk, I have my printer, I have my computer above it. That is the Christina Warner map I picked up from Modify Inc. eons ago. They are currently out of business. So I had Rob make me this huge sign on top. You can see I've got some of my favorite cards displayed in those paper organizers. I have different things. And then of course you can see my boxes that have my different kinds of paper, copy paper, Copic paper, etc. I also have that little corner with the strawberry shortcake. That's where I currently have my planners. And I also have some, that's where I also keep like my envelopes and those kinds of things for my cards. And here is a look at it from that desk actually, and you can see what it looks like all lit up. I love those lights. Again, I only have one main light in the room, so it can be kind of dark. For this cabinet at the top, it's mostly storage because I'm short and just like decor. And then the same thing for this one as well. And again, in the next video, I will open all of these cabinets and share with you what's actually inside. But here is an overlook of it now. So here is my current film space. So I have the longest that I can have of the tabletop on that side with 2 Alex drawers. And I use 2 different IKEA rolling carts. This one has my cardstock on top, then my pattern paper, and then some storage at the bottom. You can see that everything that I need is right around me, right in front of my face. That was very important to me in setting up this area. So I have my big swish, whatever. You can see here I have my tripods mounted to the wall. That was probably the best thing I could have done in this room because it gave me so much more floor space, and I just have lights, etc. So here is an overview of what it looks like just in still pictures. And yeah, I've used every single inch of this craft room and I love it. I can't say how much I have appreciated everything, and a huge shout out to my husband for making all of my dreams come true. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Don't forget, I will have part 2 probably on Monday, if I were to guess. And then after that, we will get into the Valentine card series. Don't forget to check out the t-shirts and cards that's listed in my Etsy shop that you can find down below. I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, wherever you are. I love your faces. I'll see you in my next video, possibly Sunday for planners. I haven't decided yet. Okay, bye.